and welcome to Perth City Talks. Well, here at WTV we are especially lucky because for the last few years we keep getting an invite to be part of an event which not only celebrates some truly wonderful work by Western Australians but also the work of the Department of Consumer Protection. This brings me again today to the WA Consumer Protection Awards for 2015.
A wonderful event, and we recognise those who've made a difference in protecting us, the consumer.
I really feel very honoured to be in a job where you can make so much difference. In many ways it's through the people that were here present today, the work they do in letting consumer protection know that things are going wrong, and then the people that are consumer protection, some fabulous colleagues that I work with. But together, as a united group, we are able to make a change to things, be it taking legal action, be it forcing itinerant traders out of the state, changing the laws where problems arise. And so collectively today, we're about improving and continuing to strive for a fair marketplace for everybody. In recent weeks and months, we are seeing more and more cases where organisations are operating and we are working to try and stop them, and then they continue to change their entity's name, etc. And so they're quite evasive, and that presents some new challenges. Some of the other things that come to mind are people who... We've learned of property spruikers and our concerns about the big seminars and suggesting that you can buy a house with $1. But things are going a bit underground as well. There's a lot of cold calling happening, and that's harder again for us to grasp and understand precisely what's happening. But there are property investor spruikers doing the cold call, coming around to visit people. And then we've seen some cases of selling interstate, and we're concerned about that because it's hard for us to really assess what's going on. Usually those people, by what they're doing, should be licensed real estate agents, and it doesn't appear that they are. So there's other forms of cold call. There's people ringing saying that they are representing a seniors survey, and it turns out that they're actually ringing to book a time to come and sell a $20,000 bed, So there are just terrible, misleading behaviour that occurs to basically trick people into doing things that they really wouldn't ordinarily do.
The winner of the Rona Oakley Award is Shirley Glover.
We are lucky enough to hear from Rona Oakley, who is the namesake of the Rona Oakley Award. Now, the Rona Oakley Award acknowledges an individual who's done a wonderful contribution to assisting in consumer protection, and the winner this year is Shirley Glover from the Gosnells Community Legal Centre.
The centre provides a whole range of different legal services. Me in particular, I'm one of our tenancy advocates. We have two at the centre. So my role is to assist tenants, hopefully to keep them housed. They experience a range of different issues. Many of our clients have difficulty maintaining the high cost of rents. They're on Centrelink incomes. In private rental, even with the assistance of Centrelink rent assistance, they still find it very difficult to manage to pay that weekly rent.
Shirley assists people who are facing financial problems, tenancy concerns and a range of legal difficulties. Her work has included organising local annual Anti-Poverty Week events, improving the coordination of local school assistance programs, promoting the availability of support services, and hosting a forum to develop disability service standards for people from diverse backgrounds.
Rona's an inspiration to everyone who knows her, and certainly everyone at Gosnells is really inspired by Rona and also her husband Ron. And we really appreciate that they're life members of the centre and their assistance in the very early days of the centre. And yes, I enjoyed my work at the centre immensely, and the support of the other workers and the management committee, who are also volunteers who give their time to help run the centre, and our just the overall staff generally are just fantastic.
The winner of the Richard Dick Fletcher Award for 2015 is Advocare Incorporated.
Now, another one of the very prestigious awards here at the Consumer Protection Awards is the Dick Fletcher Award, which goes to a local government authority, organisation or group who do a lot of wonderful work to do with consumer protection. Now, this year, the winner was Advocare Incorporated, who were a nominee last year, and with me from Advocare is Jenna Aziz. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you very much.
Now tell me about the work that Advocare does.
Sure. So we are a human rights organisation that protect the rights of seniors. So we give back a voice to seniors who may not have one due to isolation, dependence, frail age. So our role is to let the older people maintain their rights and give them back the quality of life that they deserve.
Advocare works closely with health and aged care training organisations, targeting the future workforce in the aged care industry and empowering them with information to protect the rights of older people.
What we do is to try and get staff to understand, recognise and respond to cases of elder abuse. We go out and we train various community organisations, health organisations about how to recognise and respond to elder abuse so that they can adopt the best practice and understand that the support services available to help that older person. I accept this on behalf of our whole organisation who just works tirelessly to promote and protect the rights of older people. So this award is a real recognition of the great work that we're doing and that we are really upholding the rights of older people in the WA community.
Thank you. And the first winner of the Ruby Hutchison Award is Oliver Peterson. Congratulations.
Please come forward, Oliver.
Now, every year at the Consumer Protection Awards, there is a media award. It's the Ruby Hutchison Award. Now, this year, there were two winners, but with me at the moment is one of the very worthy winners from Channel 9, Oliver Peterson. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Now, the media does play a very important role in consumer protection, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, it does. And obviously, we're one of the avenues to get a lot of these stories out. But of course, the individuals or the businesses who are affected by these things, they've got to come to us and, vice versa. So the role we play is really obviously telling their story.
Oliver Peterson is an investigative journalist for A Current Affair and 9 News, reporting on a range of issues and topics focusing on consumer affairs and hip pocket issues. His story about a woman operating a business offering false ultrasound images to expectant mothers examined the impact of her practices on the victims and their families. Oliver's story was aired on A Current Affair and led to the woman being exposed nationally.
It was really the emotion of the mothers who had felt that they'd been deceived, and the fact that some of them, were sending these photographs on to family members, or I guess, for a mother to see their baby for the first time in the womb, or to pay for an ultrasound that's in 4D imaging, it's quite a big expense and it's quite an emotional attachment. And I think for mothers, it really pulled at their heartstrings. So to hear their stories and how they felt they'd been deceived was really quite confronting.
Now, being scammed can be not only financially burdening, but very devastating. Now, throughout your work, you would come face to face with many victims of this, wouldn't you?
Oh, we do. And, in this particular story that we nominated today, these mothers, a group of over 100 mothers from Bunbury who were scammed, thinking that they were seeing their child, these precious images, the first images of their unborn child. And that's really harrowing, particularly for some of those mothers who never got to meet their baby because they might have had a miscarriage or something. This was their precious memory that was destroyed.
Handing me my photo saying, "That's your beautiful baby girl." And it wasn't. It wasn't her. And I want you to tell me that you knew what you were doing. You lied to me.
Another of his stories alerted consumers to phone scammers posing as government officials who targeted seniors and reached over 100,000 West Australians.
I think the messages here for consumers, though, is cross-reference who you're going to see and what you're going to do. Make sure they are registered. And what's particularly worrying is this trend of people really trying to take advantage, though, of older Australians because they're vulnerable, because they think that no one would ever tell them the wrong thing. They get a phone call from someone and they believe the person on the other end of that phone is legitimate. So if we can play some sort of role to help, particularly, as I said, the older Australians, verify who's on the other end of the phone and make them aware that no one's going to be calling up asking for personal details, for bank account details and those sorts of things. If we can play some sort of role and try and reduce the number of people who are scammed, I think that we're doing a good job and a good service in trying to help as many West Australians as possible.
Rowena, this is your chance to apologise to all the mothers you've scammed.
Just
You've got nothing to say to them?
She lied to me about my baby.
With the Consumer Protection Awards now in their 11th year, consumer protection itself becomes even more important as our love of all things online continues to grow. And if you would like to keep abreast of some of the things Consumer Protection is doing to help keep us safe, you can visit their website, scamnet.wa.gov.au. My name is Christy Mollica. Time for a quick commercial break here on Perth City Talks.